Folks, we need to talk about CPI, Consumer Price Index, that comes out on Thursday. We need to kind of understand what the expectations are and then what may happen as a result. We need to talk about the disaster that is the San Francisco office market. It is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. We need to talk about more pre-announcements. Again, negative pre-announcements continue to roll in. We will talk about those with more likely coming this week. We need to talk about something that I think goes unsaid, unrecognized, and that is the fact that the Federal Reserve, I believe, thinks there are too many billionaires. Yes, back at Jackson Hole, when they said pain was coming, I don't think Jerome Powell was talking to you and me. I think he was talking to the billionaires and the people worth $100 million. And we will talk about some articles I read this weekend that talks about how much pain they are all feeling. And then finally, we will talk about the luxury watch market. I believe the luxury watch market is the first thing to crack as the stimulus ballers give up their Rolexes and their Pateks and their, Patek Philippe's and all of those things. Cars will be next, but I do believe it starts with watches. Again, I can't believe that seemingly 2 years ago, maybe 18 months ago, you couldn't go to a Rolex store because they didn't have any. Well, that has all turned off rather quickly. And then finally, I have a surprise announcement about the uneducated economist, something super cool that will happen later today. I will save that for the end of the video. So let's get into it. Let's talk about CPI. Let's talk about the expectations. Let's talk about what happens as a result of them. As you will remember, when the CPI numbers are reported, there are actually 4 numbers to consider. There's headline and core, and then there's month on month and year on year. The most quoted number is headline. For example, last month's headline reading for year on year was 7.1. The expectation for this month will be 6.5. That is quite an aggressive drop. I have been telling you repeatedly to please watch core. Core is the thing that you and I should watch. The headline numbers have been manipulated. Core is expected to be 5.7. I believe it was 6% last month. Then there is the month-on-month number. There is talk. There is hope. There is incense being burned that the Fed is winning. The Wall Street Journal reported over the weekend that if you take the last 5 months of headline readings, you will get an inflation reading of 2.5%. Headline. Core, still a problem. Still a problem. Core is 4.7. So again, these are all numbers that we need to watch. Let's talk about the good news first. Let's assume headline core year on year come in as expected at 6.5 and 5.7 or better. And month on month numbers continue to come in, right? They're 0.1 or 0.2. There's no surprise shock of, 0.5, 0.6, something like that. In that case, I believe the talk track of the Fed winning, which I have been telling you for, 6 or 8 weeks that I think they are, will pick up. And I believe we will see a significant drop in thoughts around people with 50 basis points coming February 1st. As of this morning, or I should say as of yesterday, the odds of a 50 or a 25 by the experts was 50-50. As you've seen over the last 3 or 4 days, I kind of waffled, but I decided to stand pat on my call from months ago that February 1st will be 25 basis points. So I see no reason to change there. Now, if we flip that over, and if headline comes in certainly closer to 7, if core comes in closer to 6, or if any of the month-on-month numbers are kind of 0.4 or above, the talk track of a 50 basis point will pick up. That's where we are. Is the Fed winning, or are we getting to the sticky part of inflation? I believe this report will be the last layup. I believe this is going to be a report that shows a lot of goods inflation falling off. I actually believe the headline reading may come in even better than expected. I think core may come in better than expected. Again, I think this is the last kind of, hey, goods inflation, right? Stuff, which is about 33% of inflation is kind of over. But then we get to the hard stuff, right? Headline, housing, wages, services, things of that nature. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are excited, but excited early. But we shall see. So again, Thursday is going to be a very important day. Let's talk about San Francisco. San Francisco is paying the price for poor management, poor decisions. They seemingly 2 years ago chased off tech. They blamed tech workers, tech employers for all kinds of evil things. They implemented additional San Francisco taxes on companies where the CEO made, I think it was 100x the average employee. So guess what happened? Companies left. David Sachs from the All In podcast put out a tweet the other day that said, just got offered office space in prime San Francisco location for 2009 rent amounts. And if you don't know what was going on in 2009, it was ugly. It was bad. So that was interesting. And of course, his friend, Elon Musk, came over the top and said it's going to get worse. Yes, folks, San Francisco is in a downward spiral. There will be an opportunity for revival and a lot of money to be made, but there is going to be plenty of foreclosures, plenty of Class A office going back to the bank, and likely, maybe it's wishful thinking, a change in San Francisco leadership. I think this leadership will get blamed, as they should, for their horrible decisions. You just walk around San Francisco and you see open air drug dens, and you get guys like me who are diehard Warrior fans that cancel their season tickets because they feel unsafe. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, man. Anyways, so again, San Francisco, no bueno. It's going to get worse, but there will be a revival. There will be a return. It will likely be amazing, but we've got plenty of pain to go through. Pre-announcements. So we've already talked about some. I warned you more were coming. Today's pre-announcements came from Lululemon. They lowered Q1 guidance. Q1 guidance meaning they're going to discount more and more. Also, Chico, another clothing company, said they are suffering bloated inventory, especially in their high-end area. And then Macy's profit warning actually extends for the first half. So we are seeing that the holiday season was not great for retailers. My question is when do we get the tech early announcements or pre-announcements, right? Remember, we had Snap, I think, in Q3. We had Micron in Q4. Who is going to be that tech bellwether that says, hey, not good, right? We had Samsung. What was that over the weekend? Does Apple? Don't know. Does Dell or does HP in the computer area? Don't know. But again, some things are coming. Billionaires, right? One of the things, again, I'm starting to believe is that when Jerome Powell said pain is coming back in Jackson Hole, I think a lot of us felt that he was coming for the middle class. Certainly some. I think we will get some carryover. But I think he is clearly coming for the billionaires and folks worth $100 million. There was an article that referenced Eric Peters. He is the chief investment officer of One River Asset Management. He said that he believes that Jerome Powell or the Fed is coming after everyone worth $100 million. The reason he is saying that is over the last 2 years, these wealthy individuals really adjusted their portfolios, but they didn't adjust their lifestyles, right? They moved their portfolios into 75% illiquid assets. Think the Blackstone REIT, right? That Asia folks were caught short. They had to sell to raise cash. There are plenty of illiquid assets out there where these rich folks are now stuck and they can't sell, or if they do sell, they're going to suffer quite a loss. So if they're 75% in illiquid things, that means 25% is liquid. But unfortunately, their lifestyles are crazy stupid. So Eric Peters basically says the Fed wants to slowly bleed the wealthy and cause them to capitulate and recognize losses. You can sort of hear this a lot in the All In podcast, where they're talking about seed rounds and Series A, Series B, Series C, these write downs, these their private stocks being taking a down round. There's a lot of fake wealth. A lot of people got wealthy because they got lucky, and there's a lot of pain to come. The luxury watch market. Again, we've been talking about luxury going on sale. It's very clear that it's hitting the watch market. Morgan Stanley reports that the price of the average Rolex watch is down 21%. The average Patek Philippe is down 19% and falling as the supply continues to flood the market. Folks, there's a lot of people that went out and bought stuff that they shouldn't have bought to flex on social media, to live a lifestyle that their beer budget, champagne taste. And now they're going to be selling these things for 50 cents, 40 cents, 30 cents on the dollar. This is just where we are in the cycle. So a couple other things I've noted. Let me take a quick look. Let's talk about China. China and Chinese consumers, right? There is a lot of things to look at. What's going on with the Chinese consumer? Obviously, they've just opened up, and if you believe the news, everybody is sick. But that won't last forever. I believe the Chinese consumer is on the cusp of revenge spending. Now, what will this revenge spending be? I think it will be very much like the U.S. I think a lot of the Chinese consumers already got enough cardboard boxes. They've already done their Alibaba or Amazon or whatever shopping. They're going to be jumping on airplanes. They're going to be going to restaurants. When does that happen? That could be right on the cusp. Are they going to go to casinos? They're going to go to Macau. Are they going to live life and experience what they haven't for the last 3 years? I think the answer is yes. I think in my world travels, I have learned plenty of things, and we are all very similar. We speak different languages, we look different, but we are all similar. We want the best for our kids. We want our kids to be better in situation than us, and we like to have fun. We like to be around family. So I expect the Chinese consumer to come roaring back in the next 60 or 90 days as they go, finally, we can get out of the house. We can get out of our city. We can go somewhere. And then lastly, we'll mention Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is on the cusp of laying off potentially 3,200 people. This is more of the white-collar recession that I've been telling you is coming. I've been highlighting tech and finance as the lion's share of this. This also goes back to what I've been trying to share with you. We are going through a rolling recession. This is not going to be like the last three that was kind of everything all at once. This is going to be a rolling recession like we haven't seen in quite a while. And it is also going to be interesting to find opportunity. So at the end of the day, I want to close with this. The Uneducated Economist was gracious enough to interview me yesterday. He sent me a quick email this morning that the video, the 45 or 50-minute conversation we had, will be posted on his channel later today. So again, if you could do me a favor, check out that on the Uneducated Economist channel. Let him know that you like the video, that you came from one rental at a time. That would be greatly appreciated. So folks, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day. Like, subscribe, comment, be a part of the One Rental at a Time family. Bye.